G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today I'm reviewing the myCOOLMAN 85 litre dual zone fridge. Now this is, I think they call this one the Adventurer. So this bad boy comes in at $1,845 I think here in Australia. So a substantial purchase for a substantially sized fridge. So I'm going to give you a bit of a tour, let you know my thoughts having now used it. We've just been well, I've used it for a bit, but this particular trip was a 5-dayer with a family of 5, so a fair bit of stuff to stock, which is where the 85 litre comes in. It's actually one of the good things about myCOOLMAN is there's a big range of capacities, and it can get it right up to 96, which would be, I haven't seen it, it must be a beast. This thing weighs 33 kilograms empty, so it's quite hard to lift about. And it's definitely something you have to consider. It's certainly a 2-person job for the most part, unless you've got a way better back than mine. And if you push up to that 96, I can only imagine how heavy that is. So, in terms of the actual fridge, some of the interesting use cases with it, or the use experience with it, is it's one of these fridges where you kind of need to set it a bit lower than you expect. Now, I've encountered this with quite a few fridges, where if you really want it to be 3 degrees, you kind of need to set it on 0 or minus a little bit, and then you kind of get that temperature. So I had it set to -3 on both sides, and nothing froze on either side. You can drop it to -18, I think it is, or even maybe it might be -20 if you want it to get frozen. I'm not saying it can't freeze things, but it's just one of those fridges where you need to aim it a fair bit lower than you suspect. But it's still been punching pretty well, and yesterday was 35 degrees here, and this thing went quite well. Now, I've got the cover on it at the moment, which is the myCOOLMAN cover, so that's an extra accessory. So that's going to set you back, I think, I just looked it up, $180 I think for this. And I've also got the lithium ion battery, which is $449. So I'll talk you through those in a sec. But the things that are really quite good about this fridge, the versatility with the top, so you can open it either way. So it actually hinges one way to begin with, and it's just a case of just pushing a little bit harder, and it clips off, and you can just clip it to the other side. And at first I thought, and that's as easy as it is. The build quality is really quite good with this. Real hard, really nice seal, durable. You can stand on it. Like there's nothing fragile about it, which is what you'd hope at $1,800. Now, I also like that it's a very boxy design. So you've got this kind of very straight edge. You do have handles here, but if you come around here, you'll see the handles are embedded into the side. This makes it really good for packing into 4-wheel drives, packing into trailers, camper vans, that type of thing, because you don't have those edges that catch. This doubles as a tie down as well. So you can tie that down. Under here, which you won't be able to see, there's a bottle opener on both sides. And you've also got power, DC power, on both sides as well. So if you've got it in the car, so that's all for about packing into the 4-wheel drive, right? So depending on how your 4-wheel drive is set up, or how you're packing it in, you might want it to open that way, you might want it to open that way, you might want to have the car charger going in this side or that side. So that's why that flexibility is there, and it's absolutely welcomed. And if we head over to this side, it's got the business. So this has got its own compressor in there, the Blue Gen, I think it's called, the compressor, which is myCOOLMAN's own compressor. So it's not using an LG or there's a few kind of various ones that people use all the time, or you'll see in a lot of different fridges. This one's got its own Blue Gen, and it's got a 5-year warranty on it, I think. So they're backing it in, which is good to see. Now over here is your control port. Now you can Bluetooth app this and just control everything off the app. But otherwise, you haven't got an LCD screen, you've just got a simple layout here. I don't mind the fact there's no LCD screens. LCD screens can just get fingerprints all over them, they're hard to read. Very easy to work out what to do. Choose your side, up, down, whatever it needs to be. I've got it set on 0 at the moment, but it's not freezing, like I said before. And then you just go between the zones. Sometimes you've got to press multiple buttons to work out how to get between the zones on some fridges. You also got a turbo button here, so you can speed things up. There's a USB port as well, which is down here. And then you got your AC, for just running it off a PowerPoint, and your DC, which is running off this battery up here right now. And there, how you're going to charge it. So no direct solar, which is something to know. Now, what I don't like about having the controls all the way down here is they're a mongrel to get to when it's packed in a car. And so I was trying to you know, get a read on this when it was packed in the car, and once it's packed, you can't get your head in there to see. So I much prefer a control panel that's up here, and it's more easy to access when it's packed and more easy to see through a window if you just want to make sure it's actually running or working or something like that. So I don't mind the screenless control panel, especially considering there's a Bluetooth app that can do it all for you. But I do dislike it being so low, and that's something that you'll have to deal with. Now, this is the lithium-ion battery extension you can get through it. So with the cover, it sits in this pouch. Without the cover, it just magnetizes to the side. But always have a cover here in Australia. It makes such a difference. All right. This thing has about I think it's 14 or 15 amp hours. It works out to about 200 watt hours worth of charge. Now, I ran this, during the day I had a solar going into a different power station, which I'll review, EcoFlow, if you want to check it out on the channel. And then at night time I just plugged this in when the solar wasn't happening, and it went through one of its 4 bars in one night, overnight, decent heat. So you get a bit of life out of it. It's $449 extra. It's a fair bit on top of a $800 fridge. Now you can get the Companion 75 litre dual zone, is the previous fridge that I was running, which had the battery included for significantly less, about $1,400, and that was pretty good. So I think this is cool that they've created this accessory, because it wasn't built to be that kind of fridge. But the ones that actually have it built in, which we're seeing a few of now, there's the EcoFlow has one, Anker has one, Companion has one. So there's a few alternatives now that do a better job than this, but as an addition, if you already had a myCOOLMAN and it wasn't a big thing for you, I think it's pretty cool that they've done it. Now the cover is a weird one. I'll sit down because my knees are killing on those sticks. It's a really decompartmentalized cover. So everything's kind of like this standalone piece. And at first I was like, I really don't like that. It just feels like it's going to get lost or whatever, but it's actually been kind of good. I think it's because the Velcro is so good. So just being able to just unzip like that and access is actually turned out to be a hell of a lot easier than the previous one I was using, which was like you had to zipper it each time. And the kids just never close the zipper. It's just always a pain in the butt. So I actually kind of ended up quite liking this cover. A decent amount of storage as well with the pockets on the side. Like I said, it's a bit weird that the battery then goes in a pocket and can't stick to the side, but overall, not too bad. So, like I said, if you're in Australia, get a cover. They really change the difference in terms of the how quickly it burns the battery. Now on that, it's a pretty quiet fridge. I haven't been able to really hear it come on. It's been probably 2 meters from my head when we slept at night, and I haven't heard it come on during the night at all. So really quiet fridge, which is good. And we haven't noticed any significant obvious drain on it either. It's done a pretty good job. Even on the 35-degree day that we had yesterday, it wasn't really kicking in constantly. Quite a few times I came to check to see what was going on, and it was pulling 0 because it was just happy just milling out at where it was. Now, if you come and look inside, I'll show you inside the actual fridge itself. Yeah, so 2 really large compartments. We've had no problems fitting in all of our stuff for 5 days for a family of 5 in here. The first, oh, there's a bee. Off you go, bee. Not on me. All right. Now, one thing I can't stand are these big grates. So I'll show you. So they've got this wide grates at the bottom, and the problem is that you can't balance a can or a bottle on them because they're too wide. These need to be smaller because it just makes it hard to stack everything, because everything kind of wants to fall over constantly. So that's just a really annoying thing. Just put in it's a little bit of extra metal, just do it. I do like the handles, make it quite easy to get things in and out. And there is an LED light in there that you can't see in the broad daylight. And, oh, there it is, but you can't see it's on. And then here, you got 2 compartments, so you can just pop that out. And there's a second compartment down there, and that's where your compressor is in there. So you've got this little shelf section, so you lose a bit of space, but being able to just kind of, as you can see, with hidden chocolate down there, so the kids can't find it, have that in a separate little compartment, just be able to put that on top like that. I like that. That's cool. Just make the metal smaller, please. And as you can see, lovely big thick seal. So there we go. So that's the myCOOLMAN 85 litre dual zone. So I'm going to put back together before everything gets. You can see actually, you can probably see how nice and cool that is. You can see the frost on it right there. And it's probably getting close to 30 degrees right now. So there we go, the Adventurer, 85 litre myCOOLMAN fridge. Great family sized dual zone fridge, quiet, pretty efficient. A couple of little awkward bits here and there, but pretty flexible, very sturdy, very good design. And I've got to say, pretty easy one to recommend. I just think that once you're trying to get all of it to cover the fridge and the lithium ion battery, which is great because it basically runs it. We're running the whole fridge for a whole entire day beyond whatever you can do with solar and so forth, or off your car battery. So all of that together starts to really add up. You're looking at close to 2.5, which I think is a little bit too much. But other than that, it is deserving of being a premium quality fridge, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, that's my review of the myCOOLMAN Adventurer 85 litre dual zone fridge. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my channel for some more reviews of other fridges and power stations and the like. Till next time, I'll see you later.